parts of the story. Their differing styles and their differing collection of caps are all signs of success. 2007 was the tunnel to the other side. The light shined and the youthful energy ended a drought, lifting a team and a city back to October. A season later, a group that had tasted success got really hungry and moved up to the big table. The feast on the unexpected began, chewing away 28 years of hard work, reaching the ultimate point and taking the magical ride. The defending season was full of emotional twists and turns off and on the field, taking everyone along for the ride. The magic of October became the nearness of November in 2009. Another glorious run fell 2 wins shy of completion. The hardware, the handwear, and the headwear are acquired medals of these celebrated times. The golden era enters a new decade with a new look. The new look comes to you next. It's the 128th year of Phillies baseball, but it's probably the most anticipated season in a long time. The Phils will begin the 2010 schedule this afternoon here in our nation's capital against the Washington Nationals. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, and along with Chris Wheeler and Gary Matthews, these guys have more than 80 opening days under their belts, and this is sure to be an outstanding one. The Phillies will start today with Roy Halladay. So much is surrounding Roy Halladay's season and his potential wheels for the Phillies. I think everybody's just excited to see what he does.
Sure, Tom. You know, it was different. The minute he showed up in Clearwater, Florida this year, there was an aura about this guy. So successful in the American League. And there were people around just wanting to see Roy Halladay. No matter what he did, he'd just walk on the field. He threw a little bit of BP, he threw on the side, he'd throw in the outfield, and the camera and the media, they were everywhere recording what this guy was doing in his first couple of days in a Phillies uniform. Now, this guy is a 6-time All-Star coming to the National League with great numbers. And, Sarge, you saw him do a lot of this stuff in Toronto.
Yeah, you're right about that, Will. This guy can really, really cut you up. He's the type of pitcher, by the way, he keeps a book on every hitter that he faces just to know exactly how to get him out, and he does that at an alarming rate. What a professional. He's going to help the Phillies. A true number one. He's the type of pitcher that can stop a losing streak.
You know, it's funny, guys, when you talk to some of the American League players about Roy Halladay and the deal that the Phillies made to bring him to Philadelphia, they say, what else do we have to say? You've got the best pitcher in baseball, and guess what? The best pitcher in baseball is going to open the 2010 season for the Phillies this afternoon against left-hander John Lannon for the Washington Nationals. It's a glorious day here in our nation's capital. The starting lineups and first pitch when we return. Phillies opening day baseball is brought to you by Budweiser, who thanks you for being a designated driver. By Southwest Airlines. Want to see what a real airline is like? Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. By Citizens Bank, with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. And by Independence Blue Cross. We're here for you every step of the way.
Just when you thought you were done with your paint project, you discover paint bleed under your tape. Not anymore with patented Frog Tape. Frog Tape is the only tape treated with paint block technology. Watch how it works. Paint block reacts with water, simulating latex paint, and instantly gels to form a micro barrier that seals the edges of the tape, preventing paint bleed. Look at the results. With Frog Tape, no messy lines, no paint bleed. Frog Tape keeps paint out, keeps lines sharp.
Available at Lowe's, Sherwin-Williams, and other fine retailers.
Who won?
Phillies, I think.
It's Green Mountain coffee time.
Apple, yogurt, toothbrush.
What are you watching?
The dullest reality show I've ever seen.
Thank you, WB.
Or maybe not.
Who offers you access to more HD choices each month, along with free HD? Verizon? Strike one. DirecTV? Strike two. Dish Network. Strike 3. Cole Hamels knows if you want more HD choices plus free HD, blazing fast internet, and unlimited nationwide calling for one low price, you want the Xfinity HD Triple Play. Call now for the HD Triple Play package that works for you.
It's a sold-out crowd here at Nationals Park, and if you just closed your eyes and just thought about it instead of looking at the Capitol in the background, you might think that you're at Citizens Bank Park, because there are a whole host of Phillies fans who have made their way down to D.C. to see this opener, and right now they're getting a chance to see President Barack Obama walk out to the field to throw out the first pitch. It is the 100th anniversary of the first time a president threw out a first pitch in a Major League Baseball opening day. William Howard Taft did it here in D.C. on April 14th, 1910. And President Obama is greeting some of the servicemen who were honored prior to the start of this ball game. Men who served in active duty overseas and were injured. And there's Jim Riggleman, the manager of the Washington Nationals, and President Barack Obama acknowledging this sold-out crowd. Tell you what, you can't lay it out any better than this. It is a gorgeous afternoon for baseball, and so many things surrounding opening day. And anytime you have opening day, it's like a holiday, but then you throw in the President of the United States wheels, and it's even better.
Well, opening day in baseball, Tom, is so special anyway, and this is just flat out electric here today, and we haven't even started yet. It's just been an amazing thing since we got here this morning.
Well, President Obama dons his White Sox cap with his Nationals jacket. Of course, he has always said that he is and will always continue to be a Chicago White Sox fan. Growing up on the south side of Chicago, and Ryan Zimmerman will catch the first pitch. And from the top of the hill, President Obama throws, well, we can term it a strike. Just on the outside part of the plate.
It was catchable.
It was catchable.
I don't know why those guys throw from all the way back there. You know, you got to move up.
Well, President George W. Bush, before the World Series against the Diamondbacks and the Yankees, threw from the top of the mound and threw a strike. And that's one of the most stunning pieces of video that we have seen over the last 15 years in baseball, as President Obama greets the umpires who will take the lineup cards for today's ball game. Well, he loves his sports, doesn't he?
Sure does. Well, this is such a great spectacle here today. You know, first of all, for it to be this nice is outrageous. You know, to have a day like this in this part of the country in April is just such a bonus, and then it's so exciting to just be here. And the whole Roy Halladay thing, and the president being here, and it's opening day in the nation's capital, it's just really cool.
President Obama greeting James Brown, who was the master of ceremonies today. There's Mike Rizzo, the general manager of the Nationals. Stan Kasten, the president of the Washington Nationals, and the president of the United States heads down the dugout stairs through the tunnel. The sold-out crowd filled with anticipation. I think everybody who's a baseball fan feels the same way, that opening day is like a holiday around baseball. Pretty amazing stuff. A lot of Phillies fans going to get a chance to see Roy Halladay toss his first pitch, but they've also had a chance to see President Obama throw his first pitch of the afternoon.
At some point, a car ceases to be just a car and becomes an old friend. And no one cares for your friend like your local AMCO guys. Our technicians are experts in everything from tune-ups to transmissions. So whether your odometer's reached a new milestone or your check engine light is burning bright, bring your old friend into AMCO. People who know, call 1-800-GO-AMCO. Check engine light on? Let the experts at AMCO check it for free. AA MCO.
The McDonald's Bacon and Cheese Angus Third Pounder. Before taking it on, one must study it first. Rushing in unprepared may prove overwhelming with all that juicy 100% Angus beef. There, you've found a point of entry. The bacon beckons like a springboard to paradise. One small bite for man, etc., etc. Angus axiom number 11. Bring on the bacon. Savor one of 3 Angus Third Pounders for just $3.99 at McDonald's.
Who's the kid who played center a few years ago? Busted his face on the fence catching that ball. Paramedics helped him off the field. held a press conference with a piece of scrap metal holding his nose to his head. I miss that nut.
Seniors always ride free on SEPTA, even on game day.
Oh, with all the ceremonies surrounding opening day around baseball, sometimes the first pitch is a little delayed, and that's okay because the sights and sounds of opening day, beginning with the Phillies lineup being introduced, and it was loud with the Phillies fans. Charlie Manuel got an amazing round of applause when he was introduced, and I have to say it was much louder than any of the applause that the Nationals received. And there's President Obama throwing out the first pitch, Ryan Zimmerman doing the honors of catching that first pitch. And some notes about presidential first pitches. We said this is the 100th anniversary of the first presidential first pitch on opening day. William Howard tapped it on April 14th, 1910. Walter Johnson caught the first pitch that day. 48 presidents have thrown out opening day first pitches in D.C. John F. Kennedy did it 3 consecutive seasons. And President Barack Obama becomes the 13th different president to throw out a first pitch on opening day here in Washington, D.C. Pretty amazing stuff.
And you notice they used to just throw it out from the box
They
seats.
did, yeah.
They didn't have to throw it very far. Now they go all the way out to the mound. Boy, that's a long toss, I'll tell you.
I was surprised that he went out to the mound, and then not surprising as he puts his Chicago White Sox cap on. The man is very comfortable in any kind of arena.
Yeah.
And he hasn't wavered at all about his allegiance to the Chicago White Sox.
Working from the stretch, huh?
Yes, he is. Those left-handers are so quirky.
Things sailed a little.
It was even a little better than his first pitch at the All-Star game last year in St. Louis.
You know, you can tell he played a lot of basketball when he was a kid. He didn't play a whole lot of baseball. You know, hey, as I said, hey, he had a Gold Glove guy catch the baseball. Ryan Zimmerman had just received his Rawlings Gold Glove, and he made a nice play too.
Well, let's take a look at the Phillies starting lineup, brought to you by Xfinity, the first of 162 this year for Charlie Manuel. Leading it off at shortstop, Jimmy Rollins. Placido Polanco, the third baseman, bats second. Chase Utley hits third, followed by the first baseman, Ryan Howard. Jason Worth, the right fielder, bats fifth. Raul Ibanez is in left field, hitting sixth. Look at his numbers against John Lennon. Shane Victorino bats seventh. Carlos Ruiz hits eighth, and batting ninth at pitching is right-hander Roy Halladay. And Wheels, they'll face a guy that they're very familiar with, left-hander John Lennon, making his second straight opening day starts.
Yeah, and he made his major league debut against the Phillies back in 2007 in a no decision that day. He was ejected from that game after hitting a couple Phillies hitters. He has not pitched very well against the Phillies statistically, but this guy can be tough. You see the numbers on him. Tom mentioned his second straight opening day start, and he's a sinker ball pitcher. He tries to throw ground balls. His idea is to get you out fast. The one thing that jumps out there negative, though, of course, is that 290 left-handed hitters have hit against him, and some of the Phillies left-handed hitters have been pretty good against him. Southwest Airlines scouting report, there's that two-seam sinker we're talking about. Throws a lot of other pitches. 290, a guy like Raul Ibanez, Tom, you'll talk about it more when he comes up, but he just has amazing numbers against him.
7 for 10 against Lannon overall. Ibanez, a .354 lifetime hitter against the Nets.
And it is time now for our Key State Chrysler Jeep Keys to this afternoon's game. On just a beautiful afternoon in our nation's capital. An exciting day so far. And the first pitch has been thrown. The ceremonial first pitch has been thrown. The first pitch of the season still hasn't been thrown. A sea of red here because of the Phillies fans and the Nats fans. Here's our Key State Chrysler Jeep Keys to this afternoon's game. Well, Roy Halladay in the National League, the American League, he's really happy he's over here and gone. And can the Nats improve? Well, they certainly think they're a better team right now. Only 2 guys are starting in this game, regulars, from this time last year for them, Dunn and Zimmerman.
Well, here we go. Jimmy Rollins leads things off, and the 2010 season is underway. And the count is 1 ball and no strikes to J-Roll. Jimmy coming off a year in which he had 250 with 21 home runs. Had a good spring, and he's aboard to start the year. He did a lot of that during spring training. Swing early in counts and get on base for then Placido Polanco.
He got fastball there from Lannon on the second pitch of the game, second pitch of the season. See, all these Phillies fans, Tom was talking about the introductions and how it sounded like a home game for the Phillies. And here it is, a fastball right down the middle, and Zimmerman up a little bit, even though Rollins doesn't bunt all that often, so it was easy to fire that thing past him.
So with a runner on first to start things off here in the top of the first, here's Placido Polanco. Polanco, a lifetime 300 hitter, takes the first pitch for a strike, and it's 0-1.
Jerry Lane's a home plate umpire today. The crew chief, of course, always has the opening game of the series, and he's a very good ball and strike umpire.
And you can hear him too.
Yeah.
Even with the sold-out crowd as loud as it is, he's pretty loud with his strike call. Polanco skies one down the right field line. Over is Willie Harris. Does he have room? He does. A half a step, and he makes the grab one away.
Polanco trying to hit the ball the other way and just hit it in the air. Fan almost reached out and interfered with that. And you see Harris looking over like, hey, what are you doing?
I wonder what kind of jersey this guy had on.
Yeah, let's check it out to see. No, that would have been fan interference. If that ball had been deflected, the umpire down the first base line, who was Mike Winters, would have had to call fan interference because that guy did reach out into the field of play.
See the Phillies fans right behind that gentleman in the blue golf shirt. With one away, here's Chase Utley. A good spring for Chase. He's had a good career against John Lannon average-wise, but he was knocked out of a ball game and for a good part of the Phillies' first run toward the National League East title in Lannon's major league debut a couple years ago, and he was hit by a pitch.
The irony of that is the guy at second base, Hunter Wendelstedt, was a home plate umpire that afternoon in Philadelphia, who decided to toss Lannon out of the game after he hit Ryan Howard following the hit batter to Chase Utley, and Howard had hit a home run off him earlier in that.
1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Chase. Last year, Chase was third in the National League in runs scored with 112. 31 home runs, 93 runs batted in.
A lot of these guys in the Phillies lineup have good numbers against Washington. And last year, early in the season, they really hit their staff hard.
Overall, a season ago, the Phillies were 15-3 against Washington. And Jimmy draws the throw.
Bill Thompson's the first base coach. Of course, here's the flashback to where Chase got hit, and you knew it was bad because just that reaction there. You know, this guy is so tough, and he actually had 2 more at bats after that.
He stayed in the game.
It was amazing. Davey Lopes not here, and Davey losing his brother in a fire in Rhode Island over the weekend. We certainly send our best along to Davey and his family.
Absolutely.
So Milt is going to coach first base until we get Davey back. And you know, Davey Lopes is a big loss to the ball club because of the way he does things with the running game. Not that Milt can't help out over there too, but Milt be the first to tell you he can't do the things that Davey Lopes can do.
Yeah, Milt talked to Davey Lopes today. Davey called him to wish the Phillies luck and let him know that he was thinking of the ball club while he was going through the tragedy up in Rhode Island, in Providence, Rhode Island. So Milt's going to be manning first base for a little bit of time.
Certainly hope to get Davey back real soon, and we're all thinking about it. Great guy.
What a reaction Charlie Manuel got today when he was introduced with the starting lineups. He said during his press conference before the ball game, let's just get it going. 2-2 the count to Utley. Another toss over to first.
He was typical Charlie before the game this morning. Just wanted to talk about his players, talk about his team, and he was very relaxed. He had to do TV shows. Boy, I got a lot to do today. I can't wait till this game starts.
Chase reaches out and pops it up shallow center. Niger Morgan coming in, and 2 away. So after the 2-out or the leadoff single by Jimmy Rollins, John Lannon gets the next 2 batters on pop-outs. Oh, our first Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Justin Connor of Ashland, Pennsylvania. If the Phillies hit a home run in this afternoon's ball game, and Justin will win $100.
Chase Utley chased an off-speed pitch there in a 2-2 count and got himself out. Looked like he was way out of the strike zone, either a breaking ball or maybe a changeup.
Well, that'll leave things for Ryan Howard. 2 outs, top of the first. Rollins at first. Ryan is really the only guy in the starting lineup who does not have good numbers against Lannon. He's 4 for 22 for his career. Had a good spring with 4 home runs and 11 RBIs. And he begins this year on the heels of his 4th consecutive 45 home run or more and 135 RBI or more season. Pretty impressive. Jimmy goes. Pitch is taken inside. The throw to second, nowhere near in time. And Jimmy, who was 4th in the league in stolen bases last year, gets his first of 2010.
The big overshift on, and Ryan Zimmerman, the third baseman, was a guy taking the throw here. And Pudge Rodriguez's throw is wide, and he just comes forward. And no, that was Desmond, the shortstop.
So 1-1 the count to Ryan Howard with the runner in scoring position. And Ryan chops one back toward the middle, and it's booted. Desmond bobbles, and his throw is late. J-Ro's going to try to score. The throw to the plate, and he is out at home plate. Well, Jimmy trying to get things rolling early here in the top of the first inning. The Nationals were able to regroup after this boot by Ian Desmond. That's an error to him, but then a heads-up play by Adam Dunn. Nationals are coming up.
It's understood that if you get up to get a Budweiser, you come back with a round. How you carry that round is a matter of personal preference. There's the six-pack Strangler, the St. Bernard, the flock of geese, the marsupial, the Sherpa, the claw, even the more advanced Labrador Retriever. But we always come back with the beer that starts with full flavor and ends with a crisp, clean finish. It's what we do. Budweiser.
When Motor Trend says you're good, you're good. But when they name the Ford Fusion 2010 Car of the Year, that means there is nothing better. Except maybe getting 0% financing for 60 months during the Leadership Sales Drive. That's 0% financing for 5 years. Plus, with up to 34 miles per gallon, Fusion gets better gas mileage than both Camry and Accord. Or you can lease a Fusion with a Sun and Sync package for $199 a month. Car of the Year. Deal of the century. The Leadership Sales Drive at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
One value meal coming right up. Since when does value mean getting less? Get deluxe value at Wendy's. Our double junior cheeseburger deluxe or crispy chicken deluxe. Each with fries and a drink, just $2.99. You know when it's real.
Closed captioning for the Phillies is provided by Finagula Bagel, the world's best bagel. All natural, hand-boiled and baked. Available in your grocer's freezer.
No score as we go to the bottom of the first. Jim Riggleman took over for Matty Acta during the middle of last season, so he begins his first full year with the Washington Nationals as their manager. Here's his lineup, which is brought to you by Xfinity. Leading it off in center field, Niger Morgan. Willie Harris bats second, followed by Ryan Zimmerman, the third baseman. Adam Dunn, Josh Willingham, and Adam Kennedy are the middle of the order for the Nationals. Ivan Rodriguez does the catching, batting seventh. Ian Desmond hits eighth, and batting ninth and pitching, of course, is John Lannon. And they are facing right-hander Roy Halladay, and he is already ready to go, which is not a surprise. And Niger Morgan chops one over the head of Polanco, and it's very difficult to beat Niger Morgan to the first base bag when he does that. And the Nationals have the leadoff batter aboard here in the bottom of the first.
Well, we talk about the threat to bunt and how it gets the third baseman in, and that's what happened there. You have Polanco way in because Niger Morgan will bunt and is a threat to bunt. And so he just chopped it right over. Now look how close third baseman is on this play. So there's a ball just, it's a routine out. You know, if Polanco's back in a normal position, but that's what speed can do for you at the top of the order. They did the same thing with Jimmy Rollins.
Niger Morgan last year stole 42 bases combined, and he's off and running. Harris takes one for a strike. The throw to second base is not in time and looked like he slid past the bag. Jimmy tried to stay with him. And Morgan is aboard with a stolen base in scoring position. He's a little riled up right now, isn't he?
Yeah, he really came out to have some fun here. And he's doing his thing, and that beat the ball into the ground, steal a bag. It's a strong throw by Ruiz. It's a little bit high. Now, does he? Oh, he's out.
Oh, yeah, he went off the bag. Right there, Jimmy had his glove on the foot, which was off the bag.
Jimmy just argued a little bit, but you know, Jimmy's one of those guys that really doesn't argue, and a lot of times you know, the manager goes off the player, whether or not to come out and question the call or not. And in that case, you know, it was just a little questioning of it and not enough really to bring Charlie out.
1-2 the count to Willie Harris, who won the job as the right fielder. He'll split time with Willie Taveras out in right field. And these guys did enough for the Nationals and Jim Riggleman that they let go Elijah Dukes very early in spring training. And a call, strike 3. First strikeout of the year for Roy Halladay. He had 208 last season. And nothing is down the middle, right on the outside edge of the plate.
Well, you notice what he did. You know, this guy wants to pull to get him over, so he kept working him away and painting with it. And there he does it again. Here's Roy Halladay's 2009 season. Look at the walks, 35 walks. Now, right now he has to look back and see who the cover guy is and make sure that Morgan doesn't get a jump off second base, because he's going to want to run.
See Halladay's numbers from a year ago. And here's Ryan Zimmerman.
The thing that jumps out at you, to me anyway, is 35 walks.
35 walks in 239 innings of work.
Now, Chase Utley is a guy who's going to try and keep him close. Southwest Airlines scouting report on Halladay. Fastball, you know, he likes to make hitters swing early, and he's a complete game guy. That's what his mindset is when he goes out there.
9 complete games a season ago. And Zimmerman smokes one toward right center field. That's going to be over the head of Shane Victorino and off the top of the wall. The Nationals are going to take the early lead. Good throw in by Victorino. Morgan crosses the plate. And it's 1-0 Washington here in the bottom of the first.
Well, Ryan Zimmerman got the Silver Slugger Award and a Rawlings Gold Glove before the game. What a great player this guy is. He's the face of their franchise. It looked like Halladay threw a sinker in the middle of the plate, and boom. Ball really jumps off this guy's bat, and it will fly on a day like this too, because it's so warm.
Yeah, temperatures are supposed to be close to 80 degrees this afternoon. Now Adam Dunn, the batter, with the runner at second base, and Dunn takes one a little high. 3-man overshift for the Phillies against Adam Dunn, who last year fell shy of 40 home runs but hit 38 for the Nats and drove in 105 RBIs. And there's been some discussion that the Nationals are going to give him a contract extension.
Well, the biggest thing they've done is get him out of the outfield. Remember how he struggled in the outfield last year. And he had a series in Philadelphia that was just horrendous. But now they got him to first base, and he's a lot more comfortable there.
So the 3-man overshift by the Phillies defense. 3-0 the count.
Just to watch Halladay, you know, not knowing him, you know, throughout an entire game, or watching whether he pitches around certain hitters. In this case, he has a base open with a left-handed hitter up and a right-handed batter on deck.
Well, Dunn was taken all the way, and he takes it for a strike. Adam Dunn is much like Jason Worth, where he'll take a lot of pitches. He sees a little more than 4 pitches per at-bat. And the count 3-1. Something off speed. It's full 3-2. Roy Halladay is making his 8th straight opening day start. He and Roy Oswalt each are at that number. The record for most opening day starts, Tom Seaver started 16 opening days. And a breaking ball caught, strike 3. Just a wide array of pitches that Halladay can throw up there against a hitter.
Well, I think Dunn thought he was pitching around him, and then all of a sudden he started throwing strikes through either a cutter on 3-1 and then a breaking ball there. And there's Tom talking about the most consecutive opening day starts. Roy Halladay with 8, Roy Oswalt with 8, and Zambrano with 6 for the Cubs.
Now for the Phillies, Steve Carlton had 14 opening days for his career. Robin Roberts started 12 opening days. 2 away. Here's Josh Willingham.
And in 1976, Danny Ozark did not start lefty on opening day. He started Jim Cott, or he would have had another one. And why did he do it? As Ozzie said at the time, because I want to. They had butted heads a little bit, Carlton and Danny, and he decided to start Jim Cott that day.
Well, it's a big dream and a big honor for any starting pitcher to get the nod for his team's opening day. It symbolizes that you are the best pitcher in the rotation, but you're also matched up against the other team's best pitcher.
How about that matchup that Osborne has today with Lincecum? Wow.
Last night it was Josh Beckett against CC Sabathia as the Yankees and the Red Sox open Major League Baseball schedule. 2-1 the count to Willingham.
That's that cutter from Roy Halladay, and you see he throws a cutter in the high 80s and low 90s. Real late movement. Not a slider, but more of a cutter.
He's run a couple of deep counts now against Adam Dunn and Josh Willingham, and it's 3-1. Halladay begins this season at 32 years old. This will be the first of a 3-year contract that he signed with the Phillies. And there's ball 4. Well, he doesn't walk a whole lot of guys, so don't get used to seeing that. Hey, during the 2010 season, Turkey Hill will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. Last year, Turkey Hill contributed $9,300 for that cause, just from the Phillies victories alone. Here's one of the new members of the Nationals, Adam Kennedy, who takes a pitch for a strike. Kennedy last year hit .289 for the Oakland A's with 11 homers and 63 runs batted in. And he breaks his bat, loops one toward Jimmy, and he's grabbing it out of the air for the final out here in the first inning. So 1 run on 2 base hits, 2 men left before the ball game. Ryan Zimmerman was presented with his Silver Slugger Award. If you didn't think he could hit after getting that, well, he showed why in the bottom of the first.
The Cadillac Laurel sales event, featuring the acclaimed CTS sports sedan, a car and driver 10 best for the 3rd year in a row, with a direct injection V6 engine. See your Cadillac dealer soon, because while there is no expiration date on achievement, on rewarding it, there is.
Qualified current lessees, visit your Philadelphia Tri-State Cadillac dealer.
The only place that you can find Southwest fares on the internet is southwest.com.
We're not on Travelocity. The only place.
What's the other one?
We're not on Expedia.
What about Orbit? No!
Southwest isn't on Orbit. The only place.
Let me make this clear.
The only place online to get Southwest fares.
Southwest.com.
Southwest.com.
I know.
We're only on one website. You want to fly all over. You don't want to browse all over.
Grab your bag. It's on.
Now is absolutely the smartest time to buy a Toyota.
You know, I mean, it's great. You can't beat the deals right now.
This has got to be one of the best deals around.
This is the opportunity you've been waiting for. But time is running out to take advantage of these historic offers. So see your Toyota dealer and check out the sporty new 2010 Toyota Corolla. Right now, you can lease a Corolla for just $149 a month or get 0% APR financing for 60 months.
That's the best deal you could ever get.
Celebrate Phillies opening week with free McDonald's NL Champions t-shirts on April 14th. Order now.
Top of the second inning here at Nationals Park. It's the Nationals 1, the Phillies nothing, as Jason Worth leads things off against John Lannon. Lannon allowed a couple base runners in the first, but Jimmy Rollins was thrown out trying to score from second on an error by shortstop Ian Desmond. See what Jason did this spring. His last few games brought him above the 200 mark, and he felt pretty good after those last couple ball games of the spring. And if he wasn't woken up yet, John Lannon may have just woken him up.
That's a good pitch from a sinker ball left-hander to throw inside a little bit like that, and then to kind of just throw a dead fish or a sinker away. try and get a guy to turn one over into a weak out.
2-0 the count to Jason. And he fouls it off over the Nationals dugout. 2 balls and 1 strike. But for the first time this year, we go to the Toyota Major League scoreboard. And up at Citi Field, the Mets lead the Marlins 2-0 top of the second. David Wright, a 2-run home run.
Boy, David Wright had a difficult season last year. Severely beamed, and his power production was way off, so he comes out and hits one of his first at bat. Of Josh Johnson, no less.
3-2 the count now to Jason. Jason enters this year after playing 159 games a season ago.
And typical Jason Worth, first at bat of the season, sees a lot of pitches.
And there's number 6 of the at bat, so he's going to get at least 7. Last year he averaged just under 5 pitches per at bat.
He's one of the top in baseball as far as seeing a lot of pitches with foul balls and a good eye. And here he goes again, right out of the chute.
4 hits lifetime against Lannon. 3 of those hits home runs. So 3-2 the count to the Phil's number 5 batter. It'll be Jason Worth, Raul Ibanez, and Shane Victorino. And Jason hits one toward right center field. Nigel Morgan is over, and there's one away. Well, today is opening day here in D.C. Next Monday is opening day at Citizens Bank Park as the Nationals will return to favor and be in Philadelphia. Now, Monday's already sold out, but Wednesday the 14th, it's McDonald's opening night, and all fans 15 and older will receive the National League Champs T-shirt. On Thursday the 15th, the Phillies will be presented with their National League Championship rings. That ceremony begins at 2:30. We invite you right now while you're watching the ball game to log on to Phillies.com. Purchase your tickets for the last 2 games of that series. So 1 away. Here's Raul Ibanez. The count, no balls and 1 strike to Raul. Raul last year with 34 home runs and 93 runs batted in. He hit .426 against the Nationals.
And he hit so well in this ballpark too.
It's that one in the air to left. Willingham got a lot of room out there, but this one's in front of him. And there are 2 away. All right, Wheels, what does it say when you're a sinker ball pitcher like John Lannon and 4 of the 5 outs you've recorded have been in the air?
Well, he's pitching. He's not pitching his game, Tom. Well, let's look back at Ibanez. Last year, this was that split doubleheader, and he kept hitting them that day, and they seemed to go further. Center field. Then he went off to facing in the upper deck. Then in the second game, which had a lot of rain involved in it, he goes out to center field again. He had a ton of yardage with those home runs last year.
Yeah, 6 home runs overall here in Washington at Nationals Park a season ago.
I think that the thing that Lannon would look at, even though he's not pitching his game with ground balls, as you just brought up, is the fact that his fly ball outs are weak. And if that, if he's doing that, then that means he has enough movement location that they're not centering it on him.
So 2 outs. Here's Victorino. We count 1 ball and 1 strike to Shane. Hitting in the number 7 spot, which is much different than what he's been used to the last couple of years. And, he said it is an adjustment, and it will continue to be an adjustment. Charlie Manuel likes the fact that Victorino's speed is toward the bottom of the order. Also thinks he can provide a little pop, and he rolls that one just foul down the third base line. Shane has come out and said that he's, he doesn't like batting 7th, but he understands what Charlie's trying to do, and he's okay with it. Takes that one a little low, so it's 3-2. Chopper toward third. Big hop for Zimmerman. Well, he slings that across his body. He took a chance on that one, and he retires Victorino. It's a 1-2-3 top of the second for John Lannon and the Washington Nationals. We've played 1.5. It's 1-0 Washington.
She's the first thing I think of when I wake up.
It's a full-time commitment.
Our
relationship just keeps getting closer.
Even after all these years, I still can't get enough.
We know you're married to your business. That's why at Citizens Bank, our dedicated business specialists work with you one-on-one, making it easier for you to get capital and designing solutions for your business to succeed.
That's what I'm talking about.
Helping your business grow. That's something one good citizen does for another.
One candidate for governor already has a record of reform, Dan Honorato. As Allegheny County executive, Honorato stood up to the insiders, eliminated patronage jobs, demanded accountability, and saved taxpayers millions. Now, Dan Honorato wants to clean up the mess in Harrisburg, cut the size and cost of the legislature, stop them from being able to raise their own pay, and term limits. Dan Honorato, the Democrat for governor.
Stand out in the redesigned 2010 Mitsubishi Outlander. It's different for a reason. Right now, get 0% financing or rebates up to $3,500 during Mitsubishi's Dare to Compare sales event.
Hey, you know it's a great show Monday nights? Law & Order Criminal Intent on MyPHL 17. The stories are interesting, and you gotta love Vince D'Onofrio and Chris Noth. And Wednesdays in primetime, check out the military drama, The Unit. Both primetime dramas air at 8 on MyPHL 17. Gorgeous day for baseball here in Washington, D.C. The start of another season for the Phillies. It's their 128th year of baseball, as Ivan Rodriguez, in his 19th opening day, leads it off for the Washington Nationals.
And Pudge Rodriguez back in the National League, and he'll fire a lot of balls towards right and right center at this point in his career.
Split time last season between the Astros and the Texas Rangers. Many people thought that the swan song, as you see the alignment for the Phillies, the outfield has shifted to the right. Many people thought that last year was going to be Rodriguez's swan song, as he was dealt to the team that he began his major league career with, and that's who he finished up with.
A great career in the American League, you said, with Texas for so many years, a premier player.
It's that one the opposite way. It's over Howard's head. It's going to be in for a base hit. Rodriguez is going to try for two. Here's the throw by Jason Worth. It won't be in time as Rodriguez slides in with a leadoff double. Little dunker.
Yeah, right off the end of the bat. But that's where he hits everything now, to right and right. So I'm not saying he can't pull a ball, but Rodriguez looks away. His bat's a lot slower. He inside outs everything, and right off the end of the bat there. And what's really impressive about him, Jason Worth got on that in a hurry, did everything he could, and he really hustled out of that box. And, you know, for a catcher, turns that into a double easily.
Well, he could always run when he was younger.
Great athlete.
He is 38 years old now. And that brings the youngster in this Nationals lineup, Ian Desmond, to the plate. Desmond won the shortstop's job because of those numbers this spring. A lot of people felt, though, that it was his job to lose in spring training. He and Christian Guzman battling for the everyday shortstop's position.
This guy made his major league debut against the Phillies here last year and hit a long home run off Joe Blanton in that game. He's strong. Yeah, Guzman's a little banged up, evidently has some shoulder problems. But there's Guzman. He's the shortstop of the future, they hope, at least here in Washington.
1-2 the count.
Trying to get a lot younger. You know, of course, they have Steven Strasburg on the horizon, and talk to the Washington people about that kid, the right-hander that they drafted #1 overall. Ooh, they say he is really special.
Jim Riggleman is trying to do some things different this year compared to what Matty Acta's done the last few years, and putting Desmond in the lineup is one of those things, and he's down on strikes, and that's the third strikeout already for Roy Halladay. Speaking of Steven Strasburg, who Wheels was talking about, there's some notes about him. First all-ball pick in 2009. Signed a $15 million contract. Had a pretty good spring, but you know they want him to have some success and failure down in the minor leagues. So that's why he begins the year with Harrisburg. As John Lannon is down in the count, no balls and 1 strike.
Well, everything you hear about people that saw him in spring training, he's gifted. And he'll be up here pretty soon. They probably don't want to get his clock running too soon either.
Well, that's true. That's part of it. The baseball part of it.
As far as the economics of it go. And as you said, Tom, he needs to go pitch somewhere professionally.
0-1 the count to Lannon, who had 155 last year. And Halliday's ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And there's another strikeout for Halladay. That's his 4th of the afternoon as he gets Lannon looking. It's the 3rd batter he's gotten looking so far. So 2 away. Back to the top of the order. Nigel Morgan, the hitter. And Phillies and Nationals obviously have faced each other a lot over the last few years. Since the move to D.C., the Phillies are 20 games over the 500 mark against Washington. And what a year they had last season against the Nationals.
And it's kind of misleading when you see those numbers and the way the Phillies have dominated the Washington Nationals. Think how many games the Phillies won late against this team.
Absolutely.
Because of their bullpen problems, the Nationals bullpen problems. They played so many close games with this team over the years, and they win a lot of them, which is great for the Phillies. But it just looks, when you look at those numbers, you think, oh, well, this is no big deal. You beat these guys easily. It has been tough.
Well, their bullpen was ranked last in the National League as Morgan shatters his bat. The top of the bat goes helicoptering into the crowd as Chase Utley makes the catch to finish off this inning. No runs, 1 hit. Halladay strands 1 in scoring position. We go to the 3rd. It's 1-0 Nationals.
Thank you, heat oven. Thank you, pothole tarmac. Thank you, saltwater spray tunnel and shaker machine. Thank you to all the 5,000 tests that help make the Nissan Altima better for everyone who drives it. The Nissan Altima, made to make your life better. And highest strength and initial quality by J.D. Power and Associates. Now lease a new Altima for $199 a month for 39 months.
Has won it. This game is over as the Phillies strike again with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Wow, what a finish!
Be home for Phillies opening week, starting with the Nationals April 12th through the 15th, with great promotions and giveaways. Order at Phillies.com.
Take a good look at the full-size Ram 1500. The refined interior. The 5.7-liter Hemi V8 with MDS technology that gets 20 highway miles per gallon. And winner of the Strategic Vision Total Quality Award. No wonder it's the most awarded Ram truck ever. Ram.
Oh, it's time now for our first Dodge Stump the Fans trivia contest. That's right, Fanatic, bring it on. Here's the question. Who was the first president of the U.S. to throw out a first pitch on opening day outside of Washington, D.C.? Come on, Wheels, you have to know that one. You're a big history buff.
Yeah, I am.
We'll give you a chance to sit on that a little bit.
I don't think it's going to help.
The lines are forming on the concourse here at Nationals Park. They've got some pretty good grub around the ballpark here. It's 1-0 Washington as we go to the top of the 3rd. Carlos Ruiz leads things off. Carlos last year a .255 average with 9 homers and 43 runs batted in. He hit in 11 of the 15 postseason games the Phillies had. I mean, it is so funny to watch how he turns the light on even more. It's brighter once the postseason rolls.
Yeah, he has been a very good postseason hitter. Dodgers, they can't get him out.
3-0 the count to Carlos. Taken all the way, and there's ball 4. So Ruiz works out a walk on 4 pitches. And we'll get our first chance during the regular season to see Roy Halladay in a role which he worked hard at during spring training.
Yeah, and it's a double tough situation because not only are you dealing with a guy trying to learn how to do this, and that's bunt, of course, you have a catcher at first base, and he's tough to get over.
Well, he only has 3 career sacrifice bunts. He had 1 last year. And he bunts that one right in front of the plate. Rodriguez will fire to second in time for 1. And Halladay is able to beat the throw over to first, although a little high. And that's just what you were talking about, Wheels, about trying to get Ruiz into scoring position.
Right, and Pudge Rodriguez can still really throw. And, of course, that ball was just trickling out in front of the plate. So it was an easy play for him to pounce on it, fire to second. To Desmond, the shortstop, and almost a double play. Probably should have been a double play, but he makes a high throw. See how far he has to go for that. And then a bullet. And, well, he slipped a little bit when he went to throw it, and that's what it did. Ruiz, to his credit, got after Desmond a little bit right there and made him move his foot. And that's what precipitated that high throw.
There was one little hesitation by Carlos before that bunt was laid down, just because he didn't want to get caught in no man's land in case Roy Halladay had missed the bunt. So Halladay's aboard. Here's Jimmy Rollins, who singled to start the game. 1-0 Washington. They scored a run in the bottom of the first.
Well, they won't hold Halladay on first base. They can back off a little bit with Adam Dunn and take some of the hole away from Jimmy Rollins over there.
Jimmy begins this season with 327 stolen bases because he had a stolen base his last time aboard in the first inning. He's got a chance to pass Willie Mays on the all-time list at some point this year. Willie Mays had 338 career stolen bases. Jimmy is also 4th in Phillies history with that number. And he hits one toward left center field. Not that deep. Willingham is over. And they're 2 away. Visit the official online shop of the Phillies at Phillies.com. Browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family. Get your gear straight from the official source, the Phillies.com shop. Accept no substitutes. 2 outs. Here's Placido Polanco. Polanco flied to right. It's a foul territory his only time up, so he's 0 for 1. Good numbers last year, but as Polanco will tell you, that 285 batting average, that's not where he wanted it to be. He's a lifetime 303 hitter. So Charlie makes a nice play, or tries to make a nice play in front of the dugout. Scooted on in and out of his hands. This day and age, when you see a guy that's played as long as Polanco has and see that he has a lifetime 303 batting average, that's pretty impressive.
Sure is.
1-2 the count. 1-0 Nationals here at the top of the 3rd. Back toward the middle. Desmond ranges over. He's got it, and the inning is over with. Halladay is forced at second for the Phillies in the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 man left. We've completed 2.5. Phillies are through the lineup 1 time. They trail it 1-0.
What do I think of Charlie being the star of his own show? I don't even know how Charlie got his own show. I think it's hilarious. He definitely deserves it. He's a great coach. He's a great person. I'm sure that show is pretty entertaining.
The Charlie Manuel Show. New season premieres Sunday, April 11th on MyPHL 17.
Congrats, Charlie. Don't be afraid. Have me on your show one time. I'm only over at first base, so one time just call me up.
There have been many versions of the social greeting. The fist bump has been thrust into and out of vogue. The low five was cool for a while. The chest bump had its day, as did the outlaw, the forearm grasp, and the point and go. In certain circles, the headbutt, and of course, the bro hug double back tap combo. But one greeting stands the test of time, with a beer that starts with full flavor and ends with a crisp, clean finish. It's what we do. Budweiser.
Want to know what it takes to be a leader? How about just being the best? Like Ford Escape. This SUV gets up to an unbelievable 28 miles per gallon. And during our leadership sales drive, you can get 0% financing plus $2,000 cash back. That's both 0% and $2,000 cash. Plus, Ford has quality that is unsurpassed by Honda and Toyota. And now you can lease for only $269 a month. Ford Escape. Less stops at the pump. More savings in your wallet. The leadership sales drive at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Quality Plus Ford dealers. Beautiful afternoon for baseball here in D.C., just as it's a beautiful day back in Philadelphia. But a lot of Phillies fans, they're not in Philadelphia. They're here at Nationals Park. It's so easy to get here on the train, take the metro right over here to the ballpark, and we get a chance to see Roy Halladay in his first Phillies ball game of the regular season. He trails it 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the third. This is a gorgeous ballpark, and you know, throughout the course of the regular season, you'll probably hear the cheers of the Phillies fans, and they'll be louder than the cheers of the Nationals fans. In fact, I think the Nationals folks count on playing the Phillies because they know that there'll be more people at the ballpark when they come down.
Yeah, they're happy about this. You know, they'd rather it not sound like a Phillies home game, but you know, they'll take the admissions.
Now, there were busloads of folks that came down, and they got a chance to see the blooming cherry blossoms, which are out along the concourse.
That was part of the building this ballpark, that they put the couple cherry blossoms in the ballpark out there in that concourse area, because of that's so famous this time of the year in Washington, along the mall and near all the monuments. At cherry blossom time here in this beautiful city.
Willie Harris leads it off. The count, no balls and 1 strike to him, make it 0-2. Harris struck out looking his first time up, 1 of 4 strikeouts for Halladay in this ball game. Well, it's not odd for the Phillies to face one of the teams within their division on opening day. They begin the season this afternoon against the Washington Nationals. What usually is odd is if Charlie Manuel and his bunch play somebody in the Central. The same for, let's say, Jim Riggleman. As Harris skies one to left. Ibanez got turned around a little bit, but he finds it. And there's 1 out. Now, today's Thirst Inning is brought to you by Budweiser, the official beer of the Thirst Inning. On a warm day like this, a cold one feels pretty good for the fans who are watching this game.
And they'll probably sell a few of those today.
Sitting down, relaxing, and taking that first gulp of the day.
That one always tastes really good, too.
Or maybe the 20th gulp of the day, depending on who it is. With 1 away, here's Ryan Zimmerman. So, Wheels, do you know the team that the Phillies have faced the most on opening day in baseball history?
No, this is a team that's been around since 1883.
Well, that's right.
My first thought, and I know I'm not going to say it because I know I'm wrong, but it seemed like they played the Mets forever on opening day. It can't be the Mets because they haven't been around that long.
Well, you are close. 1-1 the count to Zimmerman. And he shoots one the opposite way. Foul. And it's 1-2. We'll give you some opening day notes while Wheels thinks about this question. Phillies all-time record on opening day, 56, 69 and 2. 2-2 against the Montreal/Washington franchise. Last season the Phillies lost 4-1 to Atlanta. In fact, the Phillies have lost 4 straight opening days. But Roy Halladay has another strikeout. That's 5 for Halladay. And there are 2 outs here in the third.
Well, he's starting to deal now. Would it be a team that could have been in different cities?
Yes.
That's that little cutter right there, and you see it's elevated, but it still got Zimmerman to pull off a little bit of chase. Well, then I'm going to say Boston, Milwaukee, Atlanta Braves.
Well, it's a good question. That's a good guess, but it's the New York Giants.
Oh, yeah?
26 times the Phillies faced the New York Giants on opening day. I guess it makes sense because the proximity was so close. They faced the Dodgers a lot, the Brooklyn Dodgers a lot on opening day. 0-2 the count to Adam Dunn.
And you said they probably did it for travel. There were fewer teams to pick from. That's what I was trying to eliminate a few of them. I thought it may have been the Braves.
And Dunn is down on strikes. Another strikeout for Roy Halladay. He has struck out 2 in each of the first 3 innings. So he has 6 strikeouts through the first 3 this afternoon. He's got Adam Dunn twice. We go to the 4th. The Phillies trail it.
Well, this year we wanted a beautiful garden.
When you name a problem, we had it.
Oh, yeah.
But luckily we met Jen at Lowe's. Oh, they had a couple issues.
These things are everywhere.
Wood ants. You can tell by their red and black bodies. I've got just the stuff.
Jen was amazing.
She knew all the stuff that we needed. Dandelions, no problem.
And Lowe's has an everyday low price guarantee.
Our yard never looked better.
Until we discovered the worst garden pest of all.
Oh, a cute dog.
That's not our dog.
Ooh, maybe we should head over to fencing.
Experience. Lowe's. Let's build something together.
It's Chevy Truck Month, and that means full-size deals on full-size trucks like Silverado half-ton. Its powertrain is backed for 100,000 miles. It's a Consumer's Digest Best Buy. Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road. Now during Truck Month, qualified buyers get 0% APR for 60 months or choose $4,000 total cash back on select 2010 Silverado models. Visit ChevyDealer.com.
Xfinity delivers the best HD picture quality and 10 times more HD choices than satellite. That's more primetime HD, more daytime HD, more movie time HD. Get HD free for 3 months when you sign up for the Xfinity Triple Play for $99 a month for 12 months. Plus, we'll guarantee your rate for 2 years. Get started for just $99 a month. Or step up to the HD Triple Play with free HD and we'll give you up to $200 back. Call 1-800-XFINITY now.
Well, last year at Citizens Bank Park, where the Phillies players received their World Championship rings, it was an exciting, very emotional day. There's Matt Stairs, Davey Lopes, who just went woof when he looked at his ring. Cole Hamels, even Pat Burrell, Jeff Jenkins, they came back. Look at Pat Gill, just so caught up in the emotion of it as Pat Burrell was acknowledged by the fans. The Rays had a game against Boston that night. Well, speaking of the ring ceremony, Thursday, April 15th at 3:05 when the Phils take on the Nationals. Prior to the ball game, the Phillies will be presented with their National League Championship rings. You don't want to miss it. There are tickets still available by logging on to Phillies.com. Top of the 4th, Phillies trail at 1-0. Gary Matthews joins us. We weren't sure if we were going to get Sarge in the booth because he was busy saying hello to his friend, the President, Barack Obama. As Chase Utley, who fly to center his first time up, has the count even. 1 ball and 1 strike. And well, it was kind of neat because at one point an inning ago, I glanced back and I saw Sarge just sitting down, relaxing, talking to the President of the United States.
Yeah, he actually came in and surprised me there, but you know, they shut down the halls every time he starts to move. But I was glad he was able to come in. At least we got a chance to shake his hand. We wanted to get him on the air, but I told him you might get a little nervous in asking him questions. So, you know, he is busy.
I would have asked him about his pick for tonight's national championship game in college basketball, the Butler Bulldogs against the Duke Blue Devils. As Chase Utley has the count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, those picks there, well, I mean, he's a basketball type of, oh my.
Just so everybody knows, that is President Obama's hand and his arm with the red jacket. At least that's what we're telling everyone, Sarge, for the rest of my life. Huh?
I hope they got some other pictures as you see Brother Wills there in the background looking up.
I patted him on the shoulder as I shook his hand.
Oh boy, I tell you, unbelievable.
2-2 the count to Chase Utley. And he's down, or it's down in the zone. It's 3-2.
Yeah, he said he shot an 88 playing golf, and he said he counted all his strokes.
Do you believe him?
Yes.
So he is the president of the United States. You
absolutely.
have to believe him.
Well, yeah. It didn't even enter my mind, Tom, not to believe him, but.
3-2 the count to Chase. Yeah, there's ball 4. So second walk issued by Lannon. And the Phillies have a leadoff batter aboard here at the top of the 4th. Nationals scored a run in the bottom of the 1st. Lannon has been in and out with his command the last couple of innings. And let's see if the Phillies can capitalize. They've had a base runner in 3 of the first 4 innings now, Sarge.
Yeah.
Are there usually opening day jitters that you have to get through?
Well, you do. That's usually the first time up or once you go out there on the field. But looking at Lannon pitch and Ivan Rodriguez behind the plate, veteran catcher, not going to have a lot of guys that call him off or not want to throw what he wants you to throw.
Ryan sends one in the air deep to right field. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the first home run of 2010, and it's a shot. A 2-run bomb for Ryan Howard, and the Phillies lead it 2-1.
Well, he didn't take that line drive long to get out of here. And that's what you like that, too. When you end up getting that home run, the first game of the season there just really relaxes you. More importantly, though, putting this team on top 2-1. And that's what these guys do. They're up and down that lineup. They got guys who can hit the ball out of the ballpark. And boy, would that ball get out of there in a hurry.
Off the front of the second deck here in Washington as Jason Worth is now the batter. And with that home run, it means Justin Connor of Ashland, Pennsylvania, has just won $100 courtesy of the McDonald's home run jackpot, courtesy of Ryan Howard. Jason Worth breaks his bat, but he's going to cash it in for a base hit. So 3 straight hitters aboard for the Phillies, including Ryan Howard.
See where this pitch is. It is a hanger slider. He wanted to get it away. And you notice how Lannon pats his glove there because he knows that sound. He's heard it before. Ball gets right back up. Wow, that ball is just...
That's a shot.
Gives you an indication of just how strong Ryan Howard is.
Yeah, the second deck here at this ballpark in the outfield is set back. I mean, it's not right even with the lower level. It's a pretty good shot.
Well, you're talking with Jim Riggleman, the manager, before the game started. He's expecting big things from this club, even though they didn't win a lot of games in spring training. There's Jim. He's also the skipper of the Chicago Cubs.
It's not often that a manager gets more than, let's say, 1 or 2 opportunities when you have a less than .500 record, but this is the 4th team that Jim Riggleman has managed in his career. Now, he did manage the Mariners for just half a season for John McLaren, who is now his bench coach here in Washington. 1 ball, 1 strike the count to Raul Ibanez.
Yeah, he talked about, didn't know if he was going to get another chance. And this is a great opportunity with this club because they haven't won and they're trying to establish some winning. If you take a look at his record there.
Well, this is a special place for Jim Riggleman to be because he grew up in Rockville, Maryland, which isn't too far away from D.C. Just a few metro stops away. He and Milt Thompson both grew up in Rockville, Maryland, went to separate high schools. There's Milt, who just bobbled that foul ball.
Keep telling them nothing good can happen as you take a look at Jim Riggleman. Nothing good can happen when those balls are coming to you. You might as well let them go. Okay? Is one of those hitters on the team. You want to have him start off quickly and get that confidence up. Didn't have a great spring. Good veteran player and has had tremendous years over the past and a clutch hitter.
Rolls that one to the right side. That's going to sneak into right field. Worth is on his way to third. And Raul Ibanez another hit against John Lannon. That's his 8th career hit against Lannon. And the Phillies have runners on first and third, and still nobody out.
Getting able to smother that ball, if you will, as he hits that ball to the right side. Jason Worth going around the bag, almost tripped. Check this out, as he just not hit it hard, but it just trickles through. But once it gets through in the right field, Jason with good speed, and he didn't have any problem getting over to third base.
And we talked about this the other day. When you have guys on base, it makes you a better hitter because the defense is aligned much differently. With Jason Worth leading off first, Dunn has to hold on, and the second baseman, Adam Kennedy, is cheating over for 2.
Yeah, good point on that.
Victorino 0 for 1, grounded to third his only time up. You see the alignment, how different it is with runners on first and third.
Yeah, this big situation, these are the ones that you want to pick up during the course of the season. And when you do it the majority of the time, it makes you where you get that 100 RBIs.
This is a spot where Pedro Feliz was the last couple of years, this number 7 spot in the order. Kind of expect Victorino to be a little more productive than even Pedro was. Line drive, base hit, and he is a little more productive, at least for today. Worth scores from third. The Phillies lead it 3-1.
Boy, quick inside Victorino was on that fastball. Lannon trying to get it on the inside part of the plate to try and jam him. With 2-0, you can just about almost predict the pitch that you're going to get. Fastball in. As he whacked it in the left field.
Steve McCaddy, the pitching coach for the Nationals, out to the mound. Still nobody out. 5 batters have reached base safely to start this inning.
You see, once he gets that foot down, see how he gets the foot down? Now he has really good balance. Goes through the ball and quick on it. The ball a little bit more out over the plate. I thought it might have been a little in. He did turn on it, though.
So the conversation is over with between Steve McCaddy and John Lannon, broken up by the home plate umpire Jerry Lane. Sarge, tell me what you're thinking as a hitter. I mean, Ryan Howard starts this thing rolling with a 2-run home run. If you're the other hitters in this lineup, do you feel like you have Lannon on the ropes now?
Well, let me tell you, it starts to be contagious once you start getting hits. And it does. It puts pressure on you just to kind of give you that added kind of incentive.
See the Phillies fans all standing up here at Nationals Park, get a chance to watch the action. And Ruiz takes one low, 1 ball and no strikes. Carlos walked his only time up. Ruiz to right field, pretty deep. Willie Harris is venturing back, and that's going to get Ibanez over to third. Victorino, well, he's danced a little bit and still managed to get to second. He was unsure as to whether he should go or not.
Good base running, however, though, by Victorino. You know, he was kind of almost halfway, then he went back to the bag as he saw Willie Harris was getting ready to catch it. Huge being able to get over to second base. Well, we talked about that before. There's other ways to get runners over, and that's one of them. Now you can see Ibanez tagging up, and he's there in good fashion. Victorino's coming right into your picture as he slides in. Made it relatively easy.
Well, that'll bring Roy Halladay to the plate. The infield is in. Halladay has 1 career RBI. A little number. He may have his 2nd career RBI. Lannon shovels it, and it's nowhere near the plate. Roy Halladay does have his 2nd career RBI, and the Phillies lead it 4-1. Put it in play, boys.
I got to tell you, that would have been a tough play, though, even if he catches it, to throw Halladay out. He had it in his glove and just shoveled it. But if he's going to go to first, he would have had to almost do a 360, catch it, and then throw the ball to first.
Well, it might be a little warm for those outfits, but it does seem like it's the Halladay season, doesn't it?
Oh, boy.
Second career RBI for Roy Halladay.
Hitting this off the end of the bat, almost a swinging bunt. Lennon coming in. If he has a good toss, he would have actually got a bunt, yes, but that's a difficult play on the run, shoveling it with your glove.
Roy Halladay's only other RBI came in 2007. Here's Jimmy Rollins. Still just one man down, the 8th man to bat in this inning. Jimmy's 1 for 2, and he has singled. He has flied out to left.
What you want to do, put pressure on him, continue to put pressure on the opposition. They'll end up making errors that normally you wouldn't.
Now Lennon has fallen behind 7 of the first 8 batters that he's faced in this inning, and that's been part of his issue, and the Phillies have capitalized.
3-0 here.
Green light?
I'm taking.
Taking? Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm taking here just to see if we can get those bases loaded.
I always find that interesting when the count's 3-0 with Charlie Manuel as the manager, because he loves to give guys green lights.
Yeah, depending on that situation and depending on how he sees you swing. They've been swinging good since spring training, really.
Well, there's ball 4, and there are the bases loaded, as Sarge just talked about. Is that going to be it for Lennon? He glanced over to the dugout. Jim Riggleman has not moved just yet. He's trying to now signal to Steve McCatty to tell the bullpen, hey, tell him to get ready a little faster. Jesse English is the left-hander loosening up in the pen for the Nationals. And Tyler Walker, the former Philly, is about to get up. And the 9th man to bat in this inning, Placido Polanco, is at the plate. I think Rodriguez got crossed up on that pitch.
He's going right out and talk with him about it. You can always tell because that catcher will kind of box that ball and not feel comfortable in catching it. And then he'll go out and talk to the pitcher and say, listen, are we on the same page here?
Bases are loaded. And the Nationals, as you see, are playing the infield back, looking to turn 2. It started with Ryan Howard's 2-run home run. The scoring started, but it's continued here in the 4th. And Ryan may get another chance to bat in this inning.
Yeah, as a hitter, too, Tom, you want that ball more up in the zone as opposed to down.
Toward left field. Willingham makes the grab. Tagging from third is Victorino. He's going to score easily. It's 5-1 Phillies. This has been a very productive inning for the Phils.
Doing the right things, moving runners, getting the sacrifice flies, having good at bats. When you have solid at bats, you just wear that pitcher down mentally. And the harder you hit the ball, the less he is to want to throw a strike. That's good hitting.
So the first 5 batters that came to the plate in this inning reached base and scored. Chase Utley is one of those guys. He began the rally with a leadoff walk. See Rollins on first. Halladay over at second base. One ball, one strike the count to Utley.
Kind of shows you the different energy the club has as opposed to spring training.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Where these guys talk about being able to turn it on and turn it off, and today they have the energy up.
Well, at least in this inning. I mean, you could just feel it, though, and it's understandable. It's opening day. It's a jam-packed place. The President of the United States is here. I mean, the Nationals jumped out early. The Phillies were kind of quiet, but they started to chip away. Just couldn't get a run across the plate until this inning here.
Yeah.
And this will be the 30th pitch of the inning for John Lannan. And it's ball 3. So 3-1 the count. A good spot for Utley.
Well, I tell you, what a good pitch to lay off on. Just a nice hard slider. If you're a little bit out in front or guessing fastball, you're going to swing and miss. This pitch, though, should be a little bit more predictable. Should be able to get a fastball, especially with Ryan Howard coming up behind him, who had just hit a home run.
And you should get a fastball in your spot.
In your zone. And like Billy Williams would say, don't be late.
And Chase not late there as he drives it into center field. Station-to-station baseball. They're going to hold Halladay at third. And the bases are now loaded for a guy who's the all-time leader in grand slams in Phillies history, and that's Ryan Howard.
Well, Riggleman looking out to the bullpen, not sure about exactly what he wants to do, but he is sure now he's going to bring in, I would think, another lefty here in this situation.
Has to be, yep. Be interesting to hear the reaction from the crowd because there's so many Philly fans here today as Jim Riggleman will take the baseball from John Lannan. His day is done here in the 4th inning. The Phillies have scored 5 runs in the inning. We've got an AT&T call to the bullpen. You may not be able to hear anything on the other end because the Phillies fans, they are loud.
AT&T covers 97% of all Americans. That's right, 97%, which means you can talk, text, email, or go online from almost anywhere. So whether you're in Portland, Oregon, or Portland, Maine, Washington, D.C., or Seattle, Washington, or somewhere in between, AT&T has the coverage you need. Hopefully, that sheds a little light on the subject.
Oh, hi, Alice.
Boss. Sure could use a cup of coffee, Stanley. And something hot and sweet for Alice.
He likes her.
Really?
We've got lots of Green Mountain flavors from W.B. Mason.
The same guys we get our cleaning and office supplies from.
I love the way you clean.
Oh, it's janitors in love.
Inflated gas bag.
Just when you thought you were done with your paint project, you discover paint bleed under your tape. Not anymore with patented Frog Tape. Frog Tape is the only tape treated with paint block technology. Watch how it works. Paint block reacts with water, simulating latex paint, and instantly gels to form a micro barrier that seals the edges of the tape, preventing paint bleed. Look at the results. With Frog Tape, no messy lines, no paint bleed. Frog Tape keeps paint out, keeps lines sharp.
Available at Lowe's, Sherwin-Williams, and other fine retailers.
Well, John Lannan's afternoon is complete. He works into the 4th inning, allows 7 hits and 5 runs, all 5 runs here in the 4th inning. And there are 2 outs in the top of the 4th as he'll just sit and watch as left-hander Jesse English is on to make his major league debut for the Washington Nationals.
He'll remember this one.
He sure will. See what he did last year. In 26 games, he made 19 starts. He was 7-7 with a 4.20 ERA. Last year, April 27th against the Washington Nationals, Ryan Howard, he had a lot of grand slams last year, Sarge, and this was one of them.
Listen to it as he goes down and drives this ball out of the ballpark. Oh, I tell you, when it starts to just warm up a little.
Well, Ibanez also hit a grand slam in that game. That was an amazing night. So here's Howard. Homered his last time up, and he's out in front of the first pitch. The home run for Ryan his last time up was his 223rd as a member of the Phillies. And that ties him with Greg Luzinski for 5th place all time.
Move over, Greg. A lot of times when you face guys for the first time, you don't know what they throw. You don't know how hard they throw. That's when you have to rely on the scouting reports to give you the information that you need in this situation.
Little roller to the right side. And Adam Kennedy made sure he went down to one knee, watched it all the way. The inning comes to a close, but it was a heck of an inning for the Phils. They sent 11 men to the plate. It began with a 2-run long ball from Ryan Howard. Phils have some power, and they can also score the old-fashioned way, as Roy Halladay showed us to help along this inning.
At some point, a car ceases to be just a car and becomes an old friend. And no one cares for your friend like your local AMCO guys. Our technicians are experts in everything from tune-ups to transmissions. So whether your odometer's reached a new milestone or your check engine light is burning bright, bring your old friend into AMCO. People who know, call 1-800-GO-AMCO. Check engine light on? Let the experts at AMCO check it for free. AA MCO.
Paul Murphy is my name. I got the RAV4. Everybody needs a deal, and this has got to be one of the best deals around.
This is the opportunity you've been waiting for, but time is running out to take advantage of these historic offers. So see your Toyota dealer and get great deals on many of your favorite Toyota models. Lease a new 2010 Camry for just $179 a month, or get 0% APR financing for 60 months.
Where can you beat that?
Subway now has breakfast.
Your
Better breakfast
with egg whites,
red onions,
jalapeno, banana peppers,
tomatoes, black forest ham,
Sweet onion sauce, melted cheese, all on English muffins.
or flatbread.
However,
you want it.
Spread the word. Subway now has breakfast. Get the deliciousness just the way you want it, like the Subway Western Egg White Muffin Melt. Build your better breakfast at Subway.
Phillies baseball is brought to you by W.B. Mason. Who but W.B. Mason for amazingly low office product prices. Now, for the first time here in 2010, the President's race here at Nationals Park. And Teddy Roosevelt has never won, and, well, he still has never won. He was in the lead. He had a pretty good lead there. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson kind of helped him along. Where was Abe Lincoln? He goes, you know what? He's fine. Abe's always been a showman.
You would think he'd win one time.
Yeah, I don't think so. Josh Willingham begins the bottom of the fourth with a single through the hole against Roy Halladay. Halladay working with a 4-run lead. It's the first hit for the Nationals since the second.
Well, we like to be able to shut them down just to keep the momentum on your side. Nobody knows better than Roy Halladay how important that is.
Phillies set up for 2 with Adam Kennedy at the plate. Kennedy swinging early, and the count is 0-1. Why have we seen Willingham and Kennedy go after the first pitch against Halladay?
Well, they know he's aggressive. They know he's going to be around the plate. That's Roy Halladay's reputation. Throws early strikes, but the key is to guess whether or not it's going to be inside or outside.
And it's difficult to square up because there's so much movement from Halladay.
And what I like about him, when he figures he can't get a guy out on a particular pitch, here comes that curveball. Notice he's not showing it a lot, but then he will come back with it, especially 2-2.
That one's hit sharply but foul, so it's 1-2. Yeah, I think I recall one time the pitch to Adam Dunn to get him looking on strikes where he threw that curve with a count 3-2.
Yeah, you just got to froze him is what he did to Dunn. You're right, got him looking on a curveball.
Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Adam Kennedy.
You know, one of the things that Roy does is each pitch he tries to throw to set up the next pitch.
And out in front, Kennedy is down on strikes. Another strikeout for Halladay. That's 7 in the ball game. So 1 away here in the 4th, and time now to take a look at our Bloomberg Sports analysis of the game. First pitch fastballs by Roy Halladay. It's declined, Sarge, the last 3 seasons, and I think that's partly because he's probably gotten better with some of those other pitches.
No doubt about it. A lot of times too, you don't know whether or not that cutter he throws that they counted as that fastball.
Well, Bloomberg Sports, the leader in data analysis, developed an analytical product being used by clubs. There's also a product for fans. Improve your fantasy play or track your favorite players and teams. Go to BloombergSports.com for details. That was a 94-mile-an-hour fastball right there to Ivan Rodriguez, and the count is 0-1.
Yeah, I had been throwing it around that 92 miles per hour.
People might find it strange, but to us, we haven't seen Roy Halladay in front of a gun that often, because in spring training there weren't a whole lot of radar guns. So to see, 94, 95, I mean, it's kind of eye-opening.
Oh, impressive.
And then he comes back with a 77-mile-an-hour breaking ball, and it's 1-2 to Rodriguez.
Filthy. When you throw it 94, and you're right, you can see now where a hitter's thinking in the back of his head, well, let me try and start this bat a little bit quicker, and that's when you get the breaking ball.
Willingham is on first, and Rodriguez chops it toward third. Nice play on the short hop for Polanco. Plenty of time. Nice play by Ryan Howard. A 5-4-3 double play for the Phils. The last couple of innings have had a whole lot go their way. The home run by Howard followed up by a little defense from Ryan Howard. Roy Halladay, well, last year he led the American League in most groundouts recorded. There's a big one right there to finish up the bottom of the fourth.
The only place that you can find Southwest fares on the internet is southwest.com.
We're not on Travelocity. The only place.
What's the other one?
We're not on Expedia.
What about Orbit? No!
Southwest isn't on Orbit. The only place.
Let me make this clear.
The only place online to get Southwest fares.
Southwest.com.
Southwest.com.
I know.
We're only on one website. You want to fly all over. You don't want to browse all over. Grab your bag. It's on.
Beaches of St. Pete Clearwater. Where will they take you? For your free visitor's guide, go to visit stpeteclearwater.com.
At some point, a car ceases to be just a car and becomes an old friend. And no one cares for your friend like your local AMCO guys. Our technicians are experts in everything from tune-ups to transmissions. So whether your odometer's reached a new milestone or your check engine light is burning bright, bring your old friend into AMCO. People who know, call 1-800-GO-AMCO. Check engine light on? Let the experts at AMCO check it for free. AA MCO.
Swing and a high fly ball, center field. This will end it. Victorino in the alley, calling. He's got it. Back to back.
Help us celebrate a winning season with the Champions Ring Ceremony. Pre-game, April 15th. Order now.
Top of the fifth inning, Jason Worth leads it off for the Phillies. They lead it 5-1, a 5 spot in the fourth inning. They send 11 men to the plate. Jason singled and scored in that inning, facing left-hander Jesse English, who is making his major league debut in relief of John Lannon. English, who was acquired off waivers by the Nationals this past offseason from the San Francisco Giants. Two and one the count.
More of a controlled type pitcher, throws a lot of off-speed pitches. They started Ryan Howard off, it seemed, with a changeup. And Sky will come inside, but it'll be more as a surprise more than anything else.
That one's over for strike two. I think Jason thought it was a little high, so 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, I was going to say that. It was over all right, almost over his head.
That's a mile high to center field. Nigel Morgan, he is really battling the sky, the sun. One away. Hey, Wheels. Or Sarge. Who are you, Sarge?
I've been called once.
Brooke Shields, Heather Locklear, and Carl Reiner. You know what they have in common? Well, they've all been on 2.5 Men on MyPHL 17. Catch the Phillies' favorite comedy weeknights at 6:30 and 7 on MyPHL 17. I think I've done that promo with Wheels during spring training, so my muscle memory has it that when I read it, he's next to me.
That's okay.
Here's Raul Ibanez with one away. Raul's 1 for 2. He singled and scored in the 4th. He flied to left. His first time up.
See his numbers last year. Right, I mean, he really just gave the club a shot in the arm that first half of the season, continually hitting the balls hard. One of the reasons he was able to make the All-Star team because of that.
People wonder about his spring with the troubles he had with his batting average and whether that was something the Phillies would have to get used to start the year. Look what he did the first half of the season, as Sarge talked about last season. And then the second half, when he was really battling that stomach problem, it turned out to be a sports hernia that he had to have operated on in the offseason. Chops that one towards second, 2 away. But I thought Raul brought up a good point, saying he was trying to be too perfect early on in spring, working on too many specific things. But then the other point too, Sarge, is that he didn't get a chance to work out this offseason the way he normally does.
Right.
So he might be behind a little bit.
Well, I would think so. You know, not going through the same type of workouts that usually you would do and due to an injury. But he'll catch up, and you'll always tell because the balls will be hit solid.
Victorino hits it sharply towards shortstop. This is going to wind up being an easy inning for Jesse English. A fly ball out, 2 ground ball outs. 1, 2, 3 go the Phils here at the top of the 5th. Roy Halladay didn't get much of a break. He'll go back to work when we return.
Great idea, man.
Told you. Best way to cool off. I just wish someone turned off that hydrant.
There's nothing more refreshing than sweet tea done right. And right now, you can get 32 ounces of McDonald's authentically brewed sweet tea for just $1. Now, isn't that refreshing?
Finally.
The Cadillac Laurel sales event, featuring the acclaimed CTS sports sedan, a car and driver 10 best for the 3rd year in a row, with a direct injection V6 engine. See your Cadillac dealer soon, because while there is no expiration date on achievement, on rewarding it, there is.
Qualified current lessees, visit your Philadelphia Tri-State Cadillac dealer.
Why does Chili start smoking your baby back ribs 4 hours before you order them?
It's all in the preparation.
For me, preparation is about getting in early. To smoke your ribs low and slow over pecan wood chips for a sweet, smoky flavor. Then I triple baste them until they're fall off the bone tender. This is Shiner Bach barbecue sauce I'm using.
Come in now for baby back ribs. Choose one of 10 freshly prepared entrees, plus an appetizer for just $9.99. Only at Chili's. It's all in the preparation.
Closed captioning for the Phillies is provided by Finagle a Bagel, the world's best bagel. All natural, hand-boiled and baked. Available in your grocer's freezer.
Today's Green Fact about Citizens Bank Park is brought to you by the Green Sense program at Citizens Bank. Hey, to offset the carbon footprint created by the team's utility power usage, the Phillies have purchased 20 million kilowatt hours of green power. It's equivalent to planting 100,000 trees. As Roy Halladay works quickly to begin the bottom of the 5th inning. I'll remind you that with Green Sense at Citizens Bank, you get paid 10 cents every time you pay without paper. Up to $120 per year. Visit citizensbank.com/greensense for details. He does work quickly. He warms up quickly, and he gets himself into the rhythm of an inning very fast.
Yeah, all that helps the team out when you work fast because they're on their toes expecting the ball. You know, fielders don't like pitchers that just get off the mound and walk around the mound. You work fast to those strikes. Usually you get pretty good results.
Well, it's kind of odd to see this, but he just walked Ian Desmond on 4 pitches. So the Nationals have the leadoff batter aboard. Second walk issued by Halladay today. And you see Roy's record in games when he gets 5 or more runs of support. And nobody out and a runner on first here in the 5th inning. He'll face pinch hitter Alberto Gonzalez, who beat out Eric Bruntlett for one of the final spots on the Nationals roster. Gonzalez had a good spring, hitting .347, a home run and 8 RBIs. But I think a lot of people were still surprised that he got the nod over Bruntlett.
A lot of times, too, they'll go on what player is a little younger, and if they're getting the same type of production, more than not, they'll go with the player with the better defense.
This could be 2. Utley to second for 1. Rollins has time, and it's a 4-6-3 double play. Second double play rolled by Roy Halladay. And that doesn't get tiresome to watch Chase Utley and Jimmy Rollins turn 2.
But when you talk with Halladay, he talks about getting those ground ball outs. And he likes those hitters to swing at that first pitch. He says it makes his work a little bit easier. Now take a look at this as you look at this 4-6-3. Good movement on that pitch there as it sinks down. Gives a good toss to J. Rowe. He jumps up and gets over the sliding Desmond.
Nigel Morgan just tried to bunt his way on, and he's down in the count. No balls and 1 strike. 5-1 Phillies. The Phillies scored 5 runs in the 4th inning. Towards shortstop. Easy hop for Jimmy Rollins. This is going to be an easy inning for Roy Halladay. It's an 8-pitch inning for Halladay, so that means over his last 3 innings, Roy Halladay has thrown 29 pitches. Not only that, but his team has given him a 4-run lead as we go to the 6th.
So, you have a resume? Tell me, Gus, why should I hire you as a gold miner?
Well, I'm used to being underground. I can squeeze into tight spots, and I'm a very fast digger.
Oh, what's the biggest haul you've ever had?
20 grand.
Gold Rush Gus from the Pennsylvania Lottery.
20 top prizes of $20,000.
Any questions for me?
Nope. I think it's gonna pan out fine. Keep on scratching.
Plan your meals now. May 3rd is the first Hatfield Dollar Dog Night. Order now at Phillies.com.
Our Independence Blue Cross Philly of the Week is the Skipper. Since becoming the 51st manager in Phillies history on November 4th, 2004, Charlie Manuel has pushed all the right buttons. His everyday dealings with players has made him the type of manager everyone likes to play for. His mind for the game has led the organization to 3 straight division titles, back-to-back NL pennants, and a world championship. The Charlie Manuel era is gleaming with success, and it is brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. We're here for you every step of the way. Miguel Batista is the new pitcher for the Nationals as we begin the top of the 6th inning. Batista's numbers last year, 7-4 with a 4.04 earned run average. He's the long man for the Washington Nationals, a guy that can also start if they need to, and he'll face Carlos Ruiz as we begin the top of the 6th. Sarge, give me a little thought on opening day as a player, what these players think about as they get ready for the first game of the season.
Well, after that long spring training and that opening day, you just have those butterflies. You're ready to go, ready to get that season started. And you'll talk to a lot of players. They'll feel that spring training might be a week too long for them. But once it starts, you're ready to go. You end up getting a home run like Ryan did. I mean, it just elevates your whole game. Now, just the opposite. You go in and you don't play very well, or like Lannon, the pitcher for the National, he's going to have some negative thoughts in his head on whether or not, you know, I'm going to be able to win games again. And there's Ryan getting off to a good start. Just makes your work that much easier. And you don't have to worry about trying to catch up. Your team is winning. He gave his team a lift. And when Ryan Howard is hitting for the fighting fields. I mean, really, nobody else has to hit when he's going through his thing, but it becomes contagious. Really does.
3 balls and 2 strikes the count to Carlos Ruiz to begin the top of the 6th. Carlos is 0 for 1. Walked his first time up, flied out to right his last time up. Miguel Batista is the 3rd pitcher used by Washington. John Lennon started, as Sarge alluded to. He got roughed up. A 5-run 4th inning. He allowed 7 hits overall. And there's ball 4, and Ruiz is aboard to begin the 6th inning. I mentioned how, from a fan standpoint, opening day seems like a holiday. Is it the same for a player?
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Just seems like there's such a build-up for it, and you have so much optimism for a brand new year.
That's why you want to start off good and not go through where you just takes you a week or so to get a hit.
Hey, Monday, May 3rd at 7:05, the Phillies will begin a 4-game series against the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals are going to be really the team to beat, it looks like, in the National League Central. 3 of the 4 games are night games. Thursday, the 6th at 1:05 is a Citizens Bank Business Person Special. You can order your tickets now by logging on to Phillies.com. Don't forget the 3rd is a Hatfield Dollar Dog Night, as Roy Halladay is up there trying to sacrifice Ruiz over to second. And he bunts at and misses the first pitch. And speaking of the Cardinals, on the Toyota Major League scoreboard, they've jumped out to a 4-2 home run, a 4-2 lead over the Reds. Albert Pujols has hit his first home run. Colby Rasmus, who had 22 homers last year, hit his first. And it's 0-2 to Halladay.
Halladay kind of punching at the ball a little bit. And Batista, one of those pitchers, throws hard. The ball has movement coming toward the inside part of the plate. Not an easy guy to try and lay down a sacrifice bunt.
Well, it's gotten started already, Sarge. There's Victorino chatting with Charlie Manuel. We see that scene a lot during the course of a season with a variety of players that usually bend the ear of Charlie when he's in the dugout talking hitting. Pete McCannon, Charlie's bench coach, is there. Halladay bunts at the 0-2, and he's down on strikes. He got a piece of that one as it rolled back to the wall. And one away here in the 6th.
Yeah, got him on a hard slider. The ball moving away from him. Just as well. Go on back, sit down, and get some rest. And look at the slider that he's getting ready to try and bunt. That happened to be a ball. He'll get better as the season goes on. Roy Halladay, good athlete.
Here's Jimmy Rollins. Been on base twice today, and he hits that one in the air to right field. It's pretty deep. Willie Harris going back, and he can't get it as he dives and just misses it. Ruiz is around third, heading for home. Jimmy Rollins heading to third, and he's there standing. An RBI triple. It's 6-1 Phillies.
Boy, oh boy. That ball just hit a ton as Harris going back, trying to dive and catch the ball. Ruiz off to the races. Boy, and as that second hitter, you're seeing go for 3. Ball just hit solid. Take a look at this. As he drives that ball, short and quick to the ball. There goes Harris with the dive there. And after that happens, you see Ruiz off to the races. J-Ro, as he hits second base, never stopping if he gets there without a slide. Good hitting.
5 triples last year for Jimmy. First of the year here in 2010. Well, he's had himself a good day. He's been on base 3 times. A single, a walk, a triple. The Phillies have a 5-run lead with the infield in for Washington. And the count 1-0 to Polanco. Toward the hole and through. Another base hit for the Phillies. Rollins will score from third. An RBI single for Polanco. It's his second RBI of the day. And it's now 7-1 Phillies.
You can see with that infield drawn in how you end up taking a chance. Unless that ball's hit right at you, it's going to be through. If he's back and playing shortstop, he's able to corral that, but the run would still score. Now you can see exactly right there now where the infielders are. They're all up. Now watch when that ball is hit. Now if he's back, now see there? That ball is right through that right side. No chance at all for him to catch the ball.
Bullpen action for the Nationals. Jason Bergman, the right-hander, is up and loosening. Here's Chase Utley with a runner at first. One man down. 2 runs have scored in the inning. And the pitch is low and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Chase 1 for 2. He has singled. He's walked and scored a run. 9 hits in the game for the Phillies.
You like to put them right in their place the first game and just let them know that nothing's going to change. But these are the games, though, if you want to win a championship or get to the playoffs, you got to win these games. Early games will make it easier for you when you get the dog days in July and so on. Plus, everybody has enthusiasm the first week of the season.
Down low, 3-0 the count to Utley. 5 different Phillies have driven in a run today, including Roy Halladay. Ryan Howard has 2 RBIs. Placido Polanco has 2 RBIs. Here's Ryan. And ball 4, and Utley's aboard for the 2nd time today with a walk, 3rd time overall. And their runners on 1st and 2nd with 1 man down. And Sarge, you talk about, getting teams early in the season. Well, the Phillies play a lot of games against the National League East the first month of the year, and that's what they did against the East last year and in 2008 and 2007. That's extremely important.
Oh, it is. Putting everybody in your division back in their place, whether or not it's the Florida Marlins or Atlanta Braves, and the more you win in your division, the wider for me that you can end up having more games in advance. Because when you're playing head-to-head, that's when you can end up really getting close to teams. Now, when you're beating them, that means they're that further away. You don't have to worry about any of the other teams beating that particular team.
Well, and it also is important early in the year when you're battling injuries like the Phillies are with Joe Blanton, who is on the disabled list to start the year. Brad Lidge was on the disabled list to begin the year. J.C. Romero, too. In fact, Brad Lidge threw a bullpen yesterday. He's got a couple more bullpens before he gets back into throwing some games. But games against the Nationals, games within your division, it's very important.
Well, it takes pressure off of the club there where you just don't have to win all the time. 2 out of 3 is the key of winning the series. 3 out of 4, 2 out of 3. And you like to go on and put them away once you've won 2 games, especially having any of your guys there on the mound, your number 2 or number 3 starters.
3 infielders at the right side of the diamond for Howard. And he hits one in the air down the left field line, slicing away from Willingham and into the seats. Well, this is how Ryan Howard got his home run trot started here in 2010.
Yeah, that made it 2-1 there. As a line drive, it gets up into that second deck, hitting it to some of our familiar friends there, Philly fans up there.
Little slow roller. This is going to be a tough play for Dunn to get anybody but Ryan Howard. The runners move up 2 away here in the 6th inning. Good for Ryan, hustling up that first base line. He nearly beat that out.
One of the things these guys do for Charlie is they make sure that they hustle all the time. And if you don't, he'll get you out of there. Now you can see how Dunn coming over, and look at that. I got him by a couple steps.
Adam Dunn making that transition full time to first base.
Adam looking to try and get an extension, he says. Doesn't want to have to wait around. If he can learn how to field over there at first base and hitting the home runs that he does, I mean, that's a power position. He doesn't play a good outfield because he's not fast enough.
Jason Worth this afternoon is 1 for 3. He singled and scored back in the 4th. Flied out to right his first time up. Flied to center his last time to the plate. Phillies scored 5 in the 4th. They've added 2 more here in the 6th. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike to count to Jason. Here's the base runners. In the background is Chase Utley. In the foreground, Placido Polanco. Lays off. And it's 3-1. Ivan Rodriguez wants an appeal, but no appeal from Jerry Lane, the home plate umpire.
A little bit too much movement for Jason Worth. Then you want to have good balance. You want to have good balance even when you take a pitch. The better the balance, and when you're swinging, the more chance you have to get a hit or to do damage with the ball. It's okay. Good swing. It's all right.
All right, because it was inside and...
Well, he was aggressive with his swing. You're not going to hit every single ball. Now, for me now, 3-2, I want to zone down a little bit, not cheat. Batista has been throwing some high fastballs. You just like to get it down some.
It's that one towards shortstop. Desmond stays down on it, and the inning is over. The Phillies, though, do get 2 runs in the inning. 2 more runs in the inning on 2 hits. The big blow, an RBI triple by J-Roll, Jimmy Rollins, that helped the Phils score the 2 in the inning.
Nothing goes better with Phillies baseball than a tasty cake. Tasty cake. Nothing goes better with Phillies baseball than a tasty cake. Tasty cake. Nothing goes better with Phillies baseball than a tasty cake.
Nothing goes better with Phillies baseball like the fresh baked taste of a tasty cake.
So, we didn't have a parade last year. What do you want? Parade every year? Who do we think we are? Thanksgiving? I'm still celebrating '08. Nah, every other year will do just fine.
SEPTA, the best way to the bank and back.
It's the sports car that's into whatever you're into. The 2010 Mitsubishi Lancer Sportback, the newest member of the award-winning Lancer family. Right now, get 0% financing or rebates up to $3,500 during Mitsubishi's Dare to Compare sales event.
Bottom of the 6th inning, Roy Halladay goes to work quickly against Willie Harris, who swings at the first pitch. Nice play by Chase Utley. One away here in the 6th inning. Phillies baseball is brought to you by AT&T, a better 3G experience. Talk about better experiences. Well, this has been the best kind of experience for the Phillies on opening day. Roy Halladay, after allowing a run in the 1st inning, has really settled in. In the 1st, he allowed 2 hits. Since that time, he's allowed 2 hits. He also hasn't thrown a whole lot of pitches. The last 3 innings, he's thrown 11, 10, 8, and now this being the 4th, he has just thrown 2, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike to Ryan Zimmerman.
Well, you always talk about if you're going to beat number 1s, you got to get them early. Once they start to settle down and get their rhythm going, they can be pretty difficult to hit. Woo.
I haven't seen many curveballs, but that's a really impressive pitch.
Something like Frisbee-like, you know, like a wiffle ball.
The man has won 148 games during his career, 17 last year. Off the end of the bat for Zimmerman, a flare toward right center. Boy, that carried well, and Worth is there to track it down for the second out. Well, it's time now for our Coors Light Freeze Cam. And take a look at Roy Halladay in action. Man is a workhorse. We've seen today him keep hitters like Adam Dunn off balance. And the expression, Wheels was saying today that he thought Roy Halladay's expression, Sarge, was Steve Carlton-like on game day.
Well, you can't say anything to either one of them during the game day, but you know, he's this guy here. He keeps a book on a lot of different hitters on how to get them out, whether or not he's successful or not. Carlos Delgado used to have a book that he would keep on every single pitcher, on the hits, who was catching. And I think when you get to that detail, it just makes you that much mentally stronger when you go out to do your craft.
Out in front is Dunn. Another easy inning for Roy Halladay as Ryan Howard takes it to the bag himself. Another 8-pitch inning for Halladay. Back-to-back 8-pitch innings. 1, 2, 3 go the Nationals. The Phillies on top 7-1.
I started this firm because I love doing payroll.
I live for receivables.
I enjoy waiting days to get my money.
I love jumping through hoops for a loan.
At Citizens Bank, we know that's not the way business works. That's why we'll get your business credit fast and make managing your company's money quicker and easier.
Finally.
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 Coming through with what your business truly needs. That's something one good citizen does for another.
Take a good look at the full-size Ram 1500. The refined interior. The 5.7-liter Hemi V8 with MDS technology that gets 20 highway miles per gallon. And winner of the Strategic Vision Total Quality Award. No wonder it's the most awarded Ram truck ever. Ram.
How does a Cole Hamels fastball compare to Xfinity Internet? Let's find out. When it comes to high speed and high performance, Cole Hamels brings some serious heat. But Xfinity Internet has internet speeds up to 50 megabits per second. Call now and get packages starting at $19.99 per month for 6 months.
Sorry about the glove, man.
Time now for our Verizon Wireless game summary. Hey, this seems a lot like last year, Tom. Phillies don't score 1 run in an inning. It seems like they put up crooked numbers. They're kind of sailing along in this one, not scoring many runs. And then boom,
it's really been impressive. It's been impressive offensively, and Roy Halladay has been really impressive too. And as Raul Ibanez leads things off here in the 7th. 1 ball, 1 strike the count to Ibanez. Raul's 1 for 3. He's flied to left. He's also singled and scored, and he's grounded out to second. We'll get to our Verizon Wireless game summary in just a moment. You saw a lot of that summary coming into this inning. And on the flip side, the balls off the bats of the Phillies players have sounded really good. On the other hand, the balls off the bats of the Nationals players the last 5 innings have not sounded as good.
A lot of thuds. And that's what we talked about with Halladay, how he'll get guys out early in the count. And that's what he started to do as this game's gone along, throwing a lot of ground balls and a lot of splats. They just don't center him very well, which is nice.
Ball 4, and Ibanez is aboard. So a leadoff walk for Raul, and here is our Verizon Wireless game summary.
There it is. There's that first crooked number right there, the 5, and then a little 2 comes along later on. And Ryan Howard just loosened everybody up with that bomb to give the Phillies their first lead. They went on to score 3 more then after the 2-run home run. They batted around +2 in the 4th for the 5 spot. And Halladay gave up a run in the 1st inning. He's actually walked 2 batters today, 1 on 4 pitches, which seemed to really tick him off because then he threw a double play ball in the next pitch.
He's gotten 2 double play balls today, and that's really helped out his pitch count. And also the fact that the national players have been very aggressive against Roy over the last few innings, that's helped his pitch count too. He's got 2 straight innings in which he has thrown just 8 pitches.
Yeah, well, that's the book on Roy Halladay, that he can get through games. All of a sudden he won't throw that many pitches because he's right around the strike zone, and they don't hit it real hard and they make outs, and that's what he's doing in this game.
0-1 the count to Victorino, batting left-handed for the first time.
Zimmerman smoked the ball on him in the first inning on a sinker that he probably got in the middle of the plate. It was down, but that's where Zimmerman likes it. He's a low ball hitter anyway. And since that time, there have not been a lot of hard hit outs.
Little flare by Victorino. Zimmerman on the run, and he makes it a nice play for out number 1. So 1 away here in the top of the 7th. Gold Glover from a year ago. And a lot of folks were wondering if Ryan Zimmerman would get that Gold Glove, and this is one of the reasons why. He is good.
Yeah, that was routine. Yeah, you know, he is their franchise. There's no doubt about it. Now, of course, Strasburg's coming along, and they hope that he will be the pitching face of their franchise eventually. But Ryan Zimmerman is the guy. When you think about Washington, you think about that guy as their number 1 player.
There's Carlos Ruiz. He's walked twice and scored a run. National set up for 2. And that first pitch drops in for strike 1. It's 0-1. Opening day here in Washington, D.C. Major League Baseball season began last night at Fenway. The Red Sox came from behind to defeat the Yankees. On the hands, and Ruiz is going to get a base hit. Ibanez read it nicely. He'll stop at second. And the Phillies have runners on first and second with 1 away, and Roy Halladay will get a chance to bat once again. Hey, the Florida Marlins will be in town on Friday, April 16th at 7:05 to start a 3-game series against the Phillies. Irish Heritage celebration prior to the start of the ball game on Friday the 16th. Then Saturday the 17th, Turkey Hill Kids opening night. A Ryan Howard baseball and collectible tin for fans 14 and under. Sunday is the Fanatics birthday, brought to you by Citizens Bank. A Fanatics Star t-shirt for fans 14 and under. You can get your tickets now, and there are limited seats available for that weekend series. But you can get your seats now by logging on to Phillies.com.
Halladay's going to get his third. Oh, he's not going to bunt. I was going to say he's going to get his 3rd shot at it. But, you know, they're charging. Adam Dunn was like, whoa, wait a minute. Zimmerman kind of flinched, too, because they figured he was going to bunt, and then he took a full hack.
You never know with Charlie. Sometimes he rolls the dice, sees the alignment, and says, all right, let's see if we can give him a swing.
Well, he's had an adventure with the bat today. I bet he had that little dribbler that turned into a hit and an RBI. All these Phillies fans in here are going, hey, 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 keep that thing away from him. Don't be buzzing his towel.
He might be thinking the same thing.
Yeah. But Halladay's had 3 chances to bunt today, or 2 chances to bunt today. And he bunted into a fielder's choice, and also he struck out.
Swinging again. He's got that play down pat.
Well, he's got the swinging bunt down. He doesn't necessarily have the sack down yet.
Picked up only his 2nd career RBI.
4th career hit.
Yep. Hasn't scored a run since 2003.
He was going 1 base at a time.
Yeah, he was.
When he was on. Sam Perlaza wasn't going to take any chances with him out there.
Little roller, swing and bunt again. Rodriguez. This time Rodriguez throws him out. He does get the runners up to 2nd and 3rd. There are 2 outs now for the top of the order.
They are going to have some fun with him. Say, man, you can't bunt. So maybe when it's a bunt situation, we'll just let you swing away as hard as you can and kill some worms out there, and you'll get them over. Now, Halladay doesn't think this is funny. He's all business, but, you know, they're kind of suppressing it right now. Like, hey, way to get him over. Here he goes. He takes a full swing, and that's a sound the bats make when he's pitching. Thud.
Well, Charlie might have something to say to Roy sometime in the next day or so. Jimmy Rollins is the batter.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things where he's on a recon with a new player. He's got it figured out now. When it's a bunt situation, just swing.
Runners lead off 2nd and 3rd. Jimmy's had a good day. He's 2 for 3, an RBI triple, a run scored.
Jimmy swung the bat, as you said, Tom, really well in spring training. And, you know, he got that look about him that he wants to have another one of those Jimmy Rollins type years. And that's just great with everybody.
Well, he scored 139 runs in 2007. That's the most runs he's ever scored. He wants to score 150 this year. And he's ahead 3 balls and no strikes. And now they're just going to put Jimmy on. That's the way he's been swinging the bat today. It doesn't get much easier because Placido Polanco, the guy that's due up, has 2 RBIs already this afternoon.
Yeah, Polanco's been well, he's going to make a pitching change right now. Jim Riggleman is.
Well, 4 walks for Miguel Batista in less than 2 innings of work. Jim Riggleman is going to dip into his bullpen one more time. This time here at the top of the 7th inning, the Phillies have the bases loaded with 2 away, and veteran Jason Bergman will be the new pitcher for the Nationals. We'll tell you about his numbers when we return.